Hello everyone and welcome to the part 2 of the video lecture on characteristic equation, eigenvalue and eigenvector. I, Dr. Kirti Sahu, shall discuss how to solve characteristic equation, eigenvalues and eigenvector through the various examples. So, let us first see what is the working rule to find out or to deal with the examples based on eigenvalues, eigenvectors and model matrix. So the first step is start with the characteristic equation. As we know, characteristic equation is determinant of a minus lambda I equal to 0. So here we would like to see what will be the characteristic equation in a simplest way if A is a 2 by 2 matrix. So we can write it as lambda square minus S1 lambda plus determinant of A equal to 0, where S1 is a sum of diagonal elements of A. So if we have A as a 2 by 2 matrix, then its diagonal elements will be A11, A22. So the sum of these two is nothing but S1, and we can find out the determinant for a 2 by 2 matrix. Similarly, if A is a 3 by 3 matrix, then the characteristic equation can be written as lambda cube minus S1 lambda square plus S2 lambda minus determinant of A equal to 0. Remember, the power of lambda will be same as the order of matrix. If A is a 2 by 2 matrix, then the highest power of lambda is 2, whereas if A is a 3 by 3 matrix, then the highest power of lambda will be 3. Now here in this case, S1 will be again a sum of diagonal elements of A, which is A11 plus A22 plus A33, and S2 is the sum of minus of diagonal elements of A, which we denote by M11 plus M22 plus M33. In our previous video lecture, you can go through how to find out the minus of the diagonal elements, and obviously this is the determinant of A. Let me minus. Then the next step after getting the characteristic equation is to get the eigenvalues. So as we have seen earlier, eigenvalues are nothing but the roots of the characteristic equation. After getting the eigenvalues, our aim is to find out the eigenvector corresponding to each eigenvalues. There may be more than one eigenvector corresponding to each eigenvalue, but we are interested in only one eigenvector corresponding to each eigenvalue of lambda. After getting the eigenvector, if modal matrix is required, then we will find out modal matrix. So modal matrix is nothing but the matrix of the eigenvector. Matrix of eigenvector is a modal matrix. Then if it is required to find out the diagonal matrix or a diagonal form, then that can be obtained by using this formula, that is B inverse A into B, where B is a modal matrix and this is the inverse of the modal matrix. So I hope through this process of the evaluation, so if suppose we want to find out diagonal form, so we will have to start with characteristic equation, then we will find out eigenvalue, which is denoted by lambda, then next we find out eigenvector, next we have modal matrix, and then we will reach to diagonal form. If the question is to find out just eigenvector, so what we do, we will start with characteristic equation, we will find out eigenvalues, and finally we will obtain eigenvector. So this is the flow of the evaluation depending upon the requirement. So I hope the working rule is clear to you all. So based on this, let us solve first example. Find the modal matrix B and verify that B inverse AB is a diagonal matrix if A is a matrix 3, 4, 4 minus 3. So here two things are required. First is to find out a modal matrix, and the next is to show that this is a diagonal matrix, right? So as per the flow of the calculation, we will start with characteristic equation, that is determinant of A minus lambda I equal to 0. So as I told earlier that from the diagonal elements of A, subtract lambda, whereas remaining element as it is. So we have the determinant of A minus lambda I in this way, equal to 0. Now, in order to simplify this determinant, here I shall discuss two methods, but I will prefer to suggest you the method 2 because that is applicable for all type of order of the matrices. So method 1 is just simplify the way we solve the determinant, that is cross multiply these two minus the multiplication of this one. So what it is, 3 minus lambda into minus 3 minus lambda minus 4 into 4 16 equal to 0. Now simplify this, so we get lambda square minus 9 then minus 16 equal to 0. That gives us lambda square minus 25 equal to 0. So this is how we get the simplification of this determinant according to method 1, which is our usual process of solving any determinant. Now the next method is method 2, which is according to the formula which I have suggested in the previous slide. So it is, as it is 2 by 2 matrix, so we write lambda square minus S1 lambda plus determinant of A equal to 0. Here S1 is sum of diagonal elements of A. Remember it is of A. So this is our A. The diagonal elements are 3 and minus 3. Take their sum, you will get 0. So S1 is 0. Then determinant of A, find out the determinant of this in a usual process. So it is multiplication of these two minus multiplication of this. So that comes out to be minus 25. So substituting the value of S1 and determinant of A in this equation, we get lambda square minus S1 will be 0. So this term vanishes and determinant of A is nothing but minus 25. So we get lambda square minus 25 equal to 0. So like this you can simplify this determinant in either of these two methods. I'll suggest you to go with the method 2 because this you will find simpler in case of higher order matrices too. So therefore on simplifying this we get characteristic equation as lambda square minus 25 equal to 0. Now we will solve it for lambda because lambda is nothing but the eigenvalues. So here you will get two values for lambda, that is 5 and minus 5. You can get these values of lambda either by making use of Kelsey or by making use of any other method known to you. So here we are getting lambda as 5 and minus 5, which are the eigenvalues. So let us denote lambda 1 by 5 and lambda 2 by minus of 5. So these are our eigenvalues. Now next aim is to find out the eigenvectors. So here order of matrix is 2 by 2, that is it is a square matrix of order 2. Therefore let us take X as the column matrix containing two elements x1 and x2. So let X is equal to the column matrix x1 x2 be the eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue lambda such that A minus lambda I times X is equal to 0. So this will be called as a eigenvector, and remember for a eigenvector this matrix should not contain all elements 0. It should contain at least one element non-zero. It should be a non-zero column matrix. So let us call this as a equation 1. So this is eigenvector which will satisfy this equation. Okay. So what we do, we'll put A minus lambda I in this equation 1 as well as X. So we already have the elements of A minus lambda I, but these are written in the determinant sign. So what we do, we'll write these elements in a matrix notation. So that gives A minus lambda I. And X is over here this x1, x2. So substituting in equation 1, what we get? So our aim is to find out here the values of x1 and x2. So substituting in equation 1, what we get? So it is 3 minus lambda 4 4 minus 3 minus lambda x is x1 x2 equal to 0 matrix on right hand side, that is 0 0. Now simplify, just multiply these two matrices. So what we get? 3 minus lambda into x1 then plus 4 into x2 equal to 0. So 0, first equation. Then 4 into x1, then minus 3 minus lambda into x2 equal to 0. So second equation. So this is the equation which involves lambda in general. we are interested in finding the value of x1 and x2 for a particular value of lambda, right? So what we do? So just put lambda equal to the first value, that is 5, in equation A. So what we get? Just put lambda as 5 in both the equations. We get equations in this way. Now just after substituting the value of lambda, just verify whether the equations so obtained are distinct or similar, or they are in the equivalent forms. So here what we find, that the equation comes out to be this one, and these are nothing but equivalent to this equation, that is x1 minus 2x2 equal to 0. Here dividing first equation by minus 2, you will get this equation. Again dividing second equation to this one, right? So how many independent equations we have over here? So we have only one independent equation in two variables, right? So when the number of variables are more than the number of equations, then that equations has the infinite solutions. So our aim is to find out those infinite solutions. So what we do? So number of equation and number of variables must be same. Here I am getting one variable extra. So that extra variable should be given an arbitrary constant value. So usually we assign arbitrary constant value to the last variable. So out of x1 and x2, last variable is x2. So let x2 is equal to a. Put this value of x2 in equation 2. You will get x1. Now what we find here, a is a arbitrary constant. As I said, this has infinite solutions, so we have to assign extra number of variable an arbitrary constant value. So these are in terms of that arbitrary constant value. But as I said that we want only one eigenvector for a given eigenvalue. So let us find that particular eigenvector. For this, assign value to a. So let us take a as 1. So when we take a as 1, we get x2 as 1 and x1 will be 2. So in this way, we have obtained the values of x1 and x2. So therefore, now we are in a position to write first eigenvector, which I am denoting here by x, capital X suffix 1. So this is first eigenvector corresponding to first eigenvalue. So that is the matrix 2, 1, right? So this is for lambda equal to lambda 1 equal to 5. We have one more eigenvalue. So let us find, or let us repeat this process for the second eigenvalue, that is for lambda equal to lambda 2. So in equation A, we put lambda equal to lambda 2 is equal to minus 5. We'll get the set of equation. We'll simplify this. Again check the independent nature of this, distinctness of these equations. So what we find here again, if I divide this by 4, what I am getting? 2x1 plus x2. Again here if I divide this by 2, we get 2x1 plus x2. So both these equations are nothing but one and the same. That is 2x1 plus x2 equal to 0. Again number of equation and number of variable, in number of equation and number of variable there is a mismatch. So number of variables are more than the number of equation. So this equations has infinite solution. So equation 3 has infinite solution. So let us assign this extra variable, say x2, as a arbitrary constant value. Now the question may be there, why can we assign only x2 as a arbitrary constant value? So the answer is no, you can assign the arbitrary constant value to x1 also. But the sake of simplification, we generally used to assign the arbitrary constant value to the last variable. So that's why I am taking x2 every time. So let x2 as b. Put this in equation number 3, you will get x1. So that is minus b by 2. So where b is a arbitrary constant. Again we don't want a number of arbitrary eigenvectors. We want a particular one, only one eigenvector for eigenvalue. So let us take a particular value for b, say b equal to 1. So what we have, x1 will be minus 1 by 2 and x2 will be 1. So therefore we can write the second eigenvector, that is what, x2 is equal to minus 1 by 2, 1 for lambda equal to minus 5. So in this way we get the second eigenvector. So now we have obtained corresponding to two eigenvalues, two eigenvector So we are in a position to write the modal matrix. So let us write modal matrix. So modal matrix is x1, that is first eigenvector. If you remember, the first eigenvector is nothing but this 2 1. Okay, so we will write the first eigenvector 2 1 and the second eigenvector, that is minus 1 by 2 1. So in this way we get the first requirement of this example, that is a modal matrix. Now our next task is to find out the diagonal form, that is B inverse AB. So let us first find out B inverse. So B inverse is nothing but, according to adjoint method, it is given by adjoint of B upon determinant of B. Now just recollect how to find the adjoint. So what we do, we interchange the diagonal elements. So you can find here interchange of diagonal elements and change the sign of remaining elements. So here you will find the change. Okay, and this is a determinant of B, comes out to be 5 by 2. So this here I am using adjoint method to obtain B inverse. Now so D is B inverse AB, put B inverse. So I can write 1 by 5 by 2 as 2 by 5 and this matrix. Then A is given, B is also there. What we do, we'll first multiply these last two matrices. You can multiply any two matrices, but generally for the sake of simplification, I used to multiply the last two matrices. So multiply these two matrices, we get resultant matrix in this way. Okay, so 3 into, you can verify, 3 into 2 6 plus 4 into 1 10. The next first row, second column, 3 into minus 1 by 2 plus 4 into 1, that comes out to be after simplification as 5 by 2. Then 4 into 2 8 plus minus 3 into 1, so minus 3, 8 minus 3 5. Like this we get this resultant. Now we have again product of two matrices, multiply these two, and then whatever answer we are getting over here, multiply each elements by 2 by 5. So what we find here, it is the matrix 5 0 0 minus 5. Now is it a diagonal matrix? So answer is yes, because all element above the diagonal as well as below the diagonals are 0. So this is a diagonal matrix. Note here the important thing. If you observe these diagonal elements carefully, so what are the diagonal elements? 5n minus 5, and if you recall, 5n minus 5 are nothing but the values of eigenvalue, right? These are eigenvalues. So remember, in case of diagonalization, when we reduce a given matrix to a diagonal form, then the diagonal elements are nothing but the eigenvalue of a matrix, Okay, so in this way you can verify whatever your answer obtained is correct or not, because these two are nothing but eigenvalues. So this diagonalization is correct. So I hope the method is clear to you. So recollect what we have done in this example. We have started with characteristic equation, then we have obtained eigenvalues by solving that characteristic equation. Then we had two eigenvalues, so corresponding to each eigenvalues we got x1 and x2, which is eigenvector, and after that we have written simply a modal matrix, which is nothing but a matrix of eigenvalues. And as it is required in this example to convert it into a diagonal form, so we have evaluated B inverse AB, and we noticed here that the diagonal elements are nothing but the eigenvalues. So based on this, in the same way, let us solve one more example, that is find eigenvalue, eigenvector and modal matrix for a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, so as I told you, start with a characteristic equation. We'll write determinant. How to write this determinant of A minus lambda I? So write down remaining element other than diagonal elements as it is, and from a diagonal element subtract lambda. So we write 8 minus lambda, 7 minus lambda, 3 minus lambda, remaining elements as it is. Okay, now task is to solve this determinant. So we'll make use of this formula, lambda cube minus s1 lambda square plus s2 lambda minus determinant of A equal to 0. Note here we'll start with positive sign, plus alternate plus minus sign will be there, plus then minus plus minus. Find out S1. S1 is sum of diagonal elements. What are the diagonal elements? 8, 7 and 3. So 8 plus 7 plus 3, 18. S2, sum of minors of diagonal elements of A. Now what will be minor of 8? That will be determinant of 7 minus 4 minus 4 3 plus minor of 7. How to get this? So delete element lying in the second row and second column. Whatever is left, write their determinant, that is 8 2 2 3. In the same way you can write minor of the third diagonal element. Simplify this, you will get 45 as a value of S2. The next we will find out determinant of A. Okay, so how to simplify 8 into this determinant? The next minus of next element in the first row, that is minus 6. Again find out its minor, plus 2 into find out the cofactor corresponding to this 2. So minus 6 7 2 minus 4. Simplify, you will get 0. So put all these values in these equations, right? So what we get? Lambda cube minus 18 lambda square plus 45 lambda, and determinant of A is 0, so 0 equal to 0. So this is our required characteristic equation. Now the value of lambda, the highest power of lambda is 3. So on solving this, how many values for lambda is required? 3 values. So solving this, we get the values of lambda as 0, 3, 15. All are real and distinct. So let lambda 1 equal to 0, lambda 2 equal to 3 and lambda 3 equal to 15. Let us find one by one the eigenvector corresponding to each of these eigenvalues. Now the order of matrix is 3 by 3. Okay, so that's why let capital X is equal to how many elements I am going to write here? 3 elements, x1, x2, x3. With the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda, such that A minus lambda I equal times x is equal to 0. Now write down this equation, right, by substituting A minus lambda and substituting x. So what we have? This type of equation. Okay, simplify this, multiply these two matrices, equate with the right hand side. So we get the system of equation A. Let us just simplify 8 minus lambda into x1, then plus minus 6x2 plus 2x3 equal to 0, first equation. Then next second row, first column, so minus 6x1 plus 7 minus lambda into x2, then plus minus 4 into x3, so minus 4x3 equal to 0. Like this we will write the third equation as well. Okay, so we get a system of equation A. This is in terms of lambda, so put one by one each value of lambda over here. So let us take first one, put lambda equal to lambda 1 equal to 0. In equation A we get this equation number 1, 2, 3. Observe these three equations carefully. Are they dependent or independent? All these equations are nothing but different. Okay, so we have three different equations. So we need to find out x1, x2 and x3 in order to get the eigenvectors. So how to solve? So we will make use of Cramer's rule. Solve any two equation. I am taking second and third equation. Right, by using Cramer's rule we will solve this. So we get x1 upon, now what we do? What we do here? x1, when I am writing it for x1, what we do? We will write the coefficient of the equation, coefficient of x2 and x3 from equation 2 and 3. We will escape. We will leave the coefficient of x1 when I am going to write for x1. This we have discussed in our earlier videos on determinant and Cramer's rule, right? So when I am writing for x1, so what we do? We will leave the coefficient of x1 and write the coefficient of x2 and x3. Similarly, minus we write for the next one minus x2. Then this is a coefficient of x1 and this one is a coefficient of x3 equal to, when I am writing for x3, so here we have first x1 and then x2. Simplify this. So what we get? This type of simplification. What we find here, that 5 is common factor, so you may cancel out. So what we get? x1 upon 1 equal to x2 upon 2 equal to x3 upon 2, which we can write as x1 is 1, x2 as 2 and x3 as 3 because it is a proportion, it is not a ratio. So whatever value obtained by the denominator, same will be achieved by the numerator. So we have such type of relations, right? So we have got the value of x1, x2, x3. So we will not now write the first eigenvector, that is x1. Okay, x1 which is 1, 2, 2. So this I am getting for first eigenvalue, that is lambda equal to lambda 1 equal to 0. Similarly, next we put next value of lambda, that is 3 in equation A. We get such type of equations again. Again all these three equations are distinct. So solve as per your choice any two equation by Cramer's rule. So I am taking the last two equation, that is 5 and 6. So x1 upon coefficient of x2 and x3 equal to minus x2 upon coefficient of x1 and x3 equal to x3 upon coefficient of x1 and x2. Okay, simplify in the same fashion. You will get x1 as minus 2, x2 as minus 1 and x3 as 2. So now we will be writing the second eigenvector for lambda equal to 3. In the same way, we will obtain the third eigenvector for lambda equal to 15. You can see here, you can solve equation, last two equation by Cramer's rule. Simplifying, 40 is a common factor, cancel out that. You will get the values of x1, x2, x3 in this way. So we have lambda, for lambda equal to 15, the third eigenvector which I am denoting by x3 is equal to 2 minus 2, 1. So in this way, now we have done with all the three eigenvectors. So we are in a position to write the modal matrix. So that is matrix of eigenvector. So this is our first column, is the first eigenvector. This is second eigenvector. You can see here minus 2, minus 1, 2. So this is x2. Then this is third eigenvector. Right? So matrix of eigenvector is a modal matrix. Like this we have obtained the desired results, that is eigenvalues which are 0, 3 and 15, eigenvectors which are given as this one, and the modal matrix. So I hope through this video lecture the concept of evaluation of eigenvalues, eigenvector, characteristic equation, modal matrix as well as the reduction to diagonal form must be clear to you. So in the next video lecture we will discuss few more important examples. If the eigenvalues are same, then how to obtain the eigenvectors. So thank you for watching the video.